Hey there, this is James Wilson with MTB Strength Training Systems and BikeJams.com. And in today's training tip, I want to show you a simple tip that can dramatically improve your Turkish Get Up. Now, Turkish Get Up is one of the best exercises that you can do. I've got a bunch of videos out there going over the Turkish Get Up in detail and explaining why it's such a great exercise for us. But when you get into the Turkish Get Up, you quickly realize that the weak link becomes what can you get up on your elbow with? How strong are you at that initial movement from laying down to getting up on your elbow? And you'll find that the weight that you can use is limited by that. Now obviously when you get really heavy, then some other things may start exposing themselves, but for a lot of people, that initial step is the hardest part. In fact, when I start working with riders, I usually have them just work on this step before I let them advance to the next part of the get up, because the stronger you are with this, the stronger the rest of your get up's gonna be. So, enough talking, let me show you what I'm talking about. So the issue that we're looking at here is this initial move up onto the elbow. And what typically happens is people will roll over and their shoulder will hunch up, and they'll end up coming up like this and then having to fix their shoulder in some way. And then same thing on the way back down, they'll tend to kind of collapse and fall back onto that shoulder. So we don't want to do that. And this is something that I've had problems with myself. And what I realized was happening was when I lay down on the ground and I let the point of my elbow point out, it makes it really tough to keep my shoulder packed in. So when I come up, it inevitably is going to unpack some. It seems no matter how hard I try, it would unpack some. So what I found out though is that if I get the point of my elbow down, so I may not be able to keep my palm flat on the ground, I may let my palm come up a little bit, but what I'm looking for is to get the point of my elbow pointed straight down. Now what I can do is I can row. I can think about driving my elbow down into the ground and behind me and row myself up much more effectively using my lat. And you can see my shoulder stays in a good position too. And then same thing on the way back down, I'm gonna keep that point of the elbow driven down to the ground. I don't wanna let it open up out to the side, and keep driving that point into the ground, and it keeps my shoulder much more stable. So again, it doesn't unpack as I'm doing that first part of my rep. And so again, this is something I picked up when I did a rep with the Beast, which is a 106-pound kettlebell. And for a couple days afterwards, I was shocked at how sore my lat was. I mean, it felt like I had done a super hardcore rowing workout. And it dawned on me that that initial move is a row. And when I row, I don't want the point of my elbow out. That doesn't let me engage my lat as effectively. So if I'm gonna, be rowing, I want to keep that elbow, in. Not the elbow itself, but the point of the elbow kind of screwed in rather than let it point out. So again, this is some subtle body mechanics stuff that it may take, if you're just starting your journey with the Turkish Get Up, this may make no sense to you whatsoever. You've got a bunch of reps before you get to the point to where you can really tell the subtle difference of what pointing your elbow one way versus the other is going to do. But start practicing this. If you've been doing the Get Up for a while, you will notice the difference. It's a really good tip, something that I'm really kind of surprised I didn't figure out sooner, because it definitely makes you a lot stronger with this. So anyways, once again, it's been James Wilson with MTB Strength Training Systems. Hope you've enjoyed this training tip. Definitely give this a shot next time you do your Turkish Get Ups and let me know how it feels. You can check me out on the web at BikeJams.com, and I'll talk to you next time.